Cincinnati. They somehow managed to keep Luke Fickell. I had been told, UFC job. If he wanted to go out to Southern California, they were kind of waiting on him before, him ultimately kind of not showing much interest and then moving on to Lincoln Riley. But I think that was closer than what people ultimately believed. Notre Dame, I think it would have been his if he would have shown interest early and said, hey, I'm willing to go up there. Don't worry about the playoff. But Luke didn't want to do that. He's going to stay with his team, going to stay with Cincinnati. A rare show and sign of respect for your current school now in this era of, job jumping. Most coaches say one thing publicly and then privately do another. And so Luke wasn't interested in any of that. And he's rewarded for it by Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati currently in the American Athletic Conference, they will be moving to the Big 12. We'll see how that timeline shakes out, when all that's going to transpire. But getting ahead of it right now, the Cincinnati Bearcats. And in their minds, they probably think about this. We're joining the Big 12. We have a chance to make our mark in there in a big way. I mean, you're going to have Oklahoma State, you have Texas Tech. There'll be some of the big schools. They'll be hanging out. Houston's coming in. They're going to swing big. Baylor's still there. They're one of the more prominent schools, and they've been pretty good. But we've got to get on par. And so by doing that, hey, we're up in Luke Fickell. We're up in your salary, $5 million a year for a school that's currently a non-Power 5 conference. Huge move. But if you think about it, look at the money that he's poured into the coffers. Made a New Year's Day 6 game in the Peach Bowl against Georgia, and then ultimately this year plays Alabama in the college football playoff. And so because of that, the amount of cash that he has generated for his school in the conference, unbelievable. And so he's worth every penny of this just for what he's already done, not even what he's going to do. And so not only with that, did they up his salary, but this is the big key. And folks that pay attention to college football, this is something that is always imperative and always critical. It's not just enough to pay your coach, but you have to invest in facilities. Cincinnati has done that. Nippert Stadium is kind of what it is. You're going to see about 45,000, but it's a great environment. But they've got an indoor built. They renovated and built completely new football stadium or football facilities about 15 years ago. They continue to upgrade them. That's key. It's a cool campus. It's right in urban downtown Cincinnati. Got all that going for them. So it has all of the other things that they need. But what else they did is they bumped the assistance pool about $1.5 million. And that's something that is very underrated. In college football now, you're only as good as your assistants. We talk about these head coaches and how great they are. Well, if you can't fill a staff with quality coaches, I don't care how good of a head coach you are. It doesn't matter. You're one of 11 guys. Plus, you're going to have analysts. You got your strength coach, your academic people, all of these different positions. You have to be able to fill them. You've got to pay those guys. You have to pay the ancillary positions like your analysts to be able to bring some of those guys in. Like those are critical roles that need to be filled. And a lot of times it's smaller programs or programs who don't operate the way a program would or should if they're actually trying to compete and win a national championship. That's the difference. And so adding $1.4 million to that payroll, massive for Cincinnati. So I think they're going to the Big 12. Their intent is going there. They're trying to compete and they're trying to win.